All right, guys. Now, the UFC welterweight division is a complete mess right now. Let's be honest here. A lot of moving parts have been happening. Main event has been changed at Madison Square Garden. All kinds of craziness. Usman and Colby Covington fell through. Now you got this whole Colby versus Masvidal, and they're not they're ex-best friends now.
Yeah.
And Masvidal is citing back to when he disrespected one of the coaches, and it was already done at that point.
Yep.
And obviously, who Masvidal is paired up with, it's against Nate Diaz. So we've got another little trio here of people we can look at here. And if you even want to throw in Usman as a little aside, we can talk about that afterwards. But let's start off here. Out of the Colby versus Masvidal versus Nate Diaz ordeal here, are you happy that Masvidal versus Diaz is the one that's booked?
Like I said, I think I mentioned that before in one of the episodes. I'm not happy because for that fight, mostly because those are two of my most favorite fighters, Nate Diaz and Masvidal. I really, really sympathize with those guys.
Game fighter, baby.
Yeah,
got a shirt on right here.
That's right. Yeah, man, represent. But that's what I'm saying. I love them. They're real G's. They're real cool, like real people. You know, this is the type of people I like. And I don't know. I don't want to see one of them lose against each other. I guess that's my whole thing. Other than that, if I have to be objective, which I will be, it's a great fight, right? Like, oh my God, Masvidal and fucking Diaz, they're both at their peak right now, guys. Trust me on that one. Like, even though Diaz was away for 3 years, look at him coming back like with flying colors, you know?
Yep.
It just looked amazing. Like he didn't miss a beat. So I love it, man. I don't like that again. That I like both guys, but a great fight. On the other hand, the whole Colby Masvidal beef. Let me just maybe give a bit of a background for those of you who don't know. Most of you probably do. They used to be best friends for quite a while, training partners, Colby and Masvidal, and I think even roommates for a while.
Yep.
If you look up YouTube, there's a bunch of videos of them like wrestling in a living room and just being boys and all that stuff. So. And just macking on chicks together and all, which is funny because that's one of the things that Colby said when he was dissing on Masvidal.
I'm
like,
screwing hotter girls than you. It's like, oh my God.
And then Masvidal couldn't help, but he actually addressed it, and I think that's the thing that cheesed him the most of everything that Colby said.
On,
like, come on, bro. You know,
ask anity. They already know. He was like,
you know, you Steve Borden every time we around chicks and whatnot. Like, yo, that was so funny, man. That was hilarious. Because they know each other's like dirty fucking laundry, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so it's cool, but I know Colby's a beast when it comes to wrestling. I don't take anything away from his actual ability as a fighter. But I think, even though I was kind of like, from the people like, yeah, don't judge Colby too much because like he's doing a character, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's taking a little too far because it's, I don't know, man. It's a little lame. But anyways, whatever. He's getting eyes on him. That's cool. I don't think it's cool for him to diss on Masvidal. Apparently, the relationship was already turning sour because Colby had dissed or done something bad to Masvidal's coach previous to that. And then once he came out with some shit talk against Masvidal, that kind of did it, and Masvidal opened up as well. And I think that makes it just that much more interesting, to be honest. I'm not the one that's going to be like, oh, where's the drama, and like seek the drama out. But it is what it is, and I think it's funny. And honestly, I would actually like love to see a Masvidal-Colby fight so much more.
Yeah, okay, so for me personally, I'm really into the Nate Diaz fight, honestly. I'm on the other side of the fence here. I love the fact that Diaz basically is just dictating who he wants to fight, and Dana White is White is creating a new belt.
Oh my God, the Baddest MoFo.
That is crazy. I think it's hilarious. It's not the first time we've seen a belt like this before.
I think
in Pride they had the Saku belt. Sakuraba had a belt that he brought out and it made under that. They had a UFC super fight belt.
Ken Shamrock.
That was Ken Shamrock.
Right.
That's it. And he faced Dan Severn in UFC 5 for the title, and in UFC 4 the cover was Hoist Gracie and Shamrock.
Yes.
And that was hilarious. They were facing and grappling each other. And that fight never even came to fruition, which is hilarious. The fight ended in a draw because they didn't even have judges back then. That was hilarious.
Oh my God, that fight's the funniest. They're like, oh, we reached the 30
minute limit.
What
and it went to 31, and then went
one more
5 more minutes. And 1 more minute, 5 more minutes. It was so funny.
Like, keep going, guys. Like,
oh my God. And then, so that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they've had belts like that before, and so this is not the first time, but I think it's not going to be the corny time right now. Back then, the MMA scene was still getting grounded and being in terms of being accepted as a general sport, like that people are interested in. That's not being called human cockfighting, etc. They were fighting a lot of pressures that be in Washington D.C. in the Senate, in the form of John McCain, for example, if you wanted to drop a name. So now that the sport has been legitimized and is recognized throughout the entire country and internationally, more importantly, I think it's at a point where this isn't a corny gimmick. This is going to be something that people actually want to buy into and watch. And I think the baddest motherfucker title is something that Cowboy would be interested in going and try to capture himself.
There you go. One more candidate right there, bro.
Right?
Like, I think the line which you mentioned between it being corny and actually super entertaining is very thin. I'm not going to lie. It's a very thin line in my mind. So you can be corny about it, but the fact that the UFC has grown so much since those days when they previously had those type of belts, it's not a spectacle so much anymore. It's a sport. So I think that will play into it. Depends how they package the baddest motherfucker or baddest mofo belt.
Yeah.
But you know what? I kind of like it.
It's necessary, man. It's super necessary. Hashtag super necessary.
And the fact
game bred fighter, baby.
The fact that we do have those characters, those heroes of MMA that actually can fit the bill and they can fight it out for the baddest mofo belt. Hey, man.
That's what I'm saying. And you know what I love? Was it Nate Diaz I was talking about? It's like you're playing Street Fighter. He's like, I want to see that guy against that guy. This is exactly it.
That's exactly it.
And I see two warriors where this is the thing. The funny part is the Colby Masvidal pre-fight hype would probably be better than the fight because of the way that Colby fights. The lead up and all the drama and all the BS would be the build up for the fight, and that's why people would want to tune in. Masvidal and Diaz could skip out on all media availabilities, and everyone's still going to buy this fight. Yep. That's the difference. Are you tuning in for the fight, or are you tuning in for the storyline? For me, I want to see the best fighters face the best fighters. Colby can whine and complain and bitch and moan all he wants. The longer you sit on the sideline, the more of a joke you become, and the more dangerous your next fight becomes in terms of winning or losing.
Yeah.
If he loses his next fight, the whole shtick is done. I haven't lost since I got the interim, bro. Come out and fight. Yeah. Fighters fight. Yeah. So if Colby wants to keep sitting and waiting on the outside, I mean, again, like Dana White has said, the sport will continue to keep going with or without you. So
for sure.
He keeps saying, pay me my worth, pay me my worth. Getting no money is sometimes you need to cut your teeth a little bit.
Exactly. And also the whole, like you said, the sitting out thing and like, yo, you're becoming irrelevant like little by little.
Big time.
No matter how good your gimmick is, no matter how many people you can annoy, like people you're sitting on the side.
Stop caring.
The only way you can keep that shit going, in my mind, is keep fighting and keep winning while you're doing it. Any other thing, like even with Conor, we saw that
100%.
Even though Conor was so much more bigger than Colby, obviously.
Just look at Mike Perry. He doesn't even win all of his fights.
And we love him.
And he's the most popular non-ranked fighter in the UFC.
I don't give a single fuck that he didn't win, or if he's not gonna win against like a certain guy or something. You know, I don't care. I like the guy. I'm gonna watch him
for sure.
He's entertaining,
and that's it. And like, you can be a court jester and be entertaining with, I'm going to put air quotes around what Colby's doing, all you want. You're being polarizing. You're trolling. You're banking off of shock value. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you know what I need for you to validate the shock value you're eschewing upon the masses? You need to be able to say you fought in the last calendar year, maybe. Yeah. But I mean, ultimately, what gave you this platform is fighting, and I think you need to stick to that. And this whole fight with Usman and Covington that fell through, and one person doesn't want to give a fight to the other, one person won't put he's back, no, he's back, Why don't you guys just put your names down and end this? Because you guys have been talking grease for months, and you just both, no one's injured, no one's hurt, no one's dealing with any kind of problem. Go and fight. It's a title unification. What do you? At least in Colby's mind, it's undisputed as far as the rankings on UFC are going. Why? Because of the irrelevancy from Colby.
Right.
So him versus Masvidal, we all know. I want Masvidal to bruck up this man's face. So that's why I'd be tuning in. But in terms of what fight I want to see, in terms of me enjoying the well, it's going to be a main event. So the 25 minutes that they're in the octagon together, I'm going to enjoy Diaz versus Masvidal more.
See, I agree with you on that one. I'm not going to lie. You're completely right when you make that point. In terms of fights, fight value, I see the value in Masvidal Diaz a lot more than against Masvidal Colby. The drama value, we obviously Colby and Masvidal. So hopefully after this fight, we end up seeing Colby Masvidal at some point.
Do you think that Colby isn't fighting Kamaru for the sole exclusive reason of being able to go and fight Masvidal first? Because that would make him more money. And people don't care about Usman. He calls him Kamaru Snoozman for a reason.
For sure. And also,
he'd make more money in the Masvidal.
I agree. And I also, that might be a thing for sure. And I think that in terms of matchup, think about it. Colby has trained with Masvidal a lot. We all know Colby's better than Masvidal in wrestling, right?
Right.
And I've seen them in the training, at the gym and stuff like that. Colby's pretty dominant when it comes to wrestling. And Masvidal never wrestled until, he got into MMA and all that stuff. So I don't know, man. I think that Colby might be smart and be like, I know this guy. I know his weaknesses. I know how to put him down.
And the intrigue level of if he loses to Usman, I don't care about seeing Masvidal fight you as much because he just came off of a loss.
That's right. And also I see Usman beating Colby. I gotta be honest. I think
yes,
it's probably gonna be a boring fight.
It'll be
you're
gonna be watching a wrestling match with a little bit of striking.
Basically identical fighters, right? In terms of style and pressure and all that stuff. So
then I'd give the power advantage to Usman, and that's why he'd probably win on my books.
Yeah.
And instead of engaging in a glorified hybrid wrestling match, if Colby sits out and waits to fight a guy like Masvidal who he feels comfortable trying to wrestle with, I mean, it might be a little bit different of a fight for him in terms of, especially if it being the first fight of him coming back, a little bit more intrigue there because of the storyline. Snoozman, I'm sorry, but I don't want to get on Colby's side really because I just don't ever want to agree, but he's got a good point. Kamaru's not an exciting fighter, but Colby, neither are you really. So them facing each other, I don't know about all of that. Yeah. And it's really funny as an aside, last name in here that I'll toss out in the welterweight division, Tyron Woodley. No one's saying anything. What's his next step? Because everyone else here seems to be paired up. What, Leon Edwards? I don't know. Darren Till maybe? Again, no, you're not going to do that. I don't know. Interesting to see what Tyron's going to be doing soon if he comes back because he made a good impact on the community for his career, for music, for this and that. And we'll see when he comes back, if and when.
Don't forget that just before we close this out, Ben Askren's name is still he's got to fight someone and maybe win one day.
Damian Maia.
Oh, that's lined up. That's right. I forgot about that. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Let's see how that fucking.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a best grappler match. That's going to be for the best grappler.
Because whoever wins that fight's probably going to go in the mix with those other guys.
And whoever loses that fight is going to be close to falling out of the top 15.
Correct. And if that's Ben Askren, at least if that's Damian Maia, he can say, I had a good run at the UFC.
Right.
If it's Ben Askren, they'll be like one of the, almost you can put it next to, what's that guy's, the wrestler guy? The WWE guy that came to fight.
Which one are you talking about?
Not Brock Lesnar. The other, CM Punk.
CM Punk,
bro.
Right.
They'll be almost as embarrassing as CM Punk's little stint in the.
It might even be worse because you're coming in here as claiming you're a professional fighter who's been doing this for a while. Yep. I mean, listen, if Ben Askren loses this fight against Damian Maia for whatever reason, guess where he's gonna fall right around? Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
You want to see Robbie Lawler rematch against Ben Askren to really see what would have happened? I don't know. We'll see. Let us know about this crazy welterweight division that we're seeing down in the comment section. From Colby to Masvidal to Diaz to Tyron Woodley, all the way on down. We'd love to hear your comments. And maybe, who knows, if you have any kind of topics that you want to hear us weigh in on or talk about, research, let us know. We'll check it out in the comment section. We always do. Peace.